Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome back to my channel. Oh, don't think I'm fully in this. Maybe I need to prop you up a bit. What can I prop you up on? Let's have a think. Alexa? I'm sorry, Alexa. You got excited.
I don't know that one.
Alexa, you're propped up on Alexa. Good morning, good afternoon. Hi, everyone, and welcome back to my channel. Hope you're all doing well. It's another episode of Joe Chats Running. So today I wanted to talk about whether I should hire a running coach or join a running coaching group. The reason why I'm recording this is because partly for my own sake, I want to talk it through and come up with like pros and cons. I might actually write some of these things I talk about down as I'm going along because I think it would help me. So where do I start? I guess, okay, so I finished my ultra marathon nearly 3 weeks ago, and since then I have spent a lot of time googling races, trying to figure out what I want to sign up for next year, kind of measuring that with the fact that everything I've signed up for so far this year has been cancelled apart from my ultra, and I've already got a marathon in the calendar which was postponed this year, so I've got one for October next year. So that is something to work towards, and at the back of my mind I still have this running goal that I would love to be able to run a marathon in 3 hours 30 or under. That would be a dream. I would just love to do that. I would love to be able to push myself to see if I could do that, but then at the same time I also love running purely for running's sake. So I'm constantly balancing the fact that I love running without tracking, without timing, just for the sake of it, allowing my mind to wander, allowing myself to be in the moment of whatever that is, against the fact that I do have a more competitive side with myself, not with anyone else, with myself, in that I would love to prove to myself that I can better myself, I can actually meet a goal and not give up on myself. And I think 2 years ago, or before I had my daughter, set myself the goal, right, if I can get an under 1 hour 40 half marathon, I will focus on that. And I did solely focus on that, and I achieved like 1:39 and 40 something seconds. I just purely set my focus on that for that run, and I did it. So I know I can do these things when I really focus on them, but at the moment I am torn between, should I focus on my running in this kind of personally competitive way, or should I just let myself be and allow myself to run for pure enjoyment's sake? And I'm not saying one way or the other way is right or wrong. I know so many runners that get such a lot out of beating their time from the last time, going for PBs, with all their running, and I totally get that. I think for me, I almost let myself off the hook a lot of the time by not going down that route, because I find that sometimes I put too much pressure on myself, and when I've got so much going on, it just spirals into stress. And I am already a stressed person. I'm very on the go all the time and have so many things going on in my life. It's not just running. I am also trying to grow a business. I've started a plant milk business, which is kind of on hold at the moment because I'm going through a process with my local authority to get everything tested and improve my procedures and all of these things that I need to do to get that kind of set up to grow. But that's one thing that's going on in the background. Then obviously I have my family. I am almost a full-time, I am a full-time mum. Everyone's a full-time mum, but I mean, I have my little girl every day, apart from Thursdays, which is today, when my mum looks after her. And I will be next month, going back to work 1 day a week. So I will have another day that is taken up by work, but my day job work. So I have a lot going on, as does everyone, but do I hire a running coach? Do I hire one? Comment below. Have you got one? Have you used one? What do you think? I know I'm never going to be a professional athlete. I would only be improving for myself, for my self-esteem, for my confidence, and I actually see running as personal development for me, because it helps me believe that I can do better, I can achieve things, I can set goals and actually tick them off by working towards them. I find that running is a very clear-cut way for me to mark performance and improvement if I set my mind to it. the question I have is, do I want to set my mind to that at this moment in time? I've said, I know in my head, I have this one marathon booked in for next year. I'd like to do another ultra run. And I'd like to maybe do a couple of shorter distances as well, but I definitely enjoy the trail running. But if I was going to try and beat my time, then I would try and do it on a road run. So yeah, as you can tell, my mind is a little bit gaga. Anyway, had a conversation with a running coaching business who have been recommended. I actually heard Charlotte Purdue on Run Pod, Jenny Faulkner's podcast, and I was just immediately attracted to her ethos, what she stood for, how she trained, the way she spoke. I know two people who are runners who recommended her coaching business. So that's who I've had a conversation with. Purdue Performance, absolutely lovely guy I spoke to on the phone, and I 100% believe that they are doing what they believe is right, and they only take on a relatively small number of runners. They have quite a few coaches. It's definitely not a bog standard program, but yeah, it's not cheap either. I'm not saying it's not value, it's just not like, what's the word? Well, nothing is cheap. What is cheap? It's value. It's what you want to get out of it and what you're willing to pay. I think that it's a fair price. It's just whether I want to invest in that. I'm not a member of a gym. I used to pay for classes through prams when I first had my daughter, or, you know, after that postpartum period that I mentioned in my last video. I'm accustomed to paying a monthly membership for something, and it's not even the money. It's just whether that is the right time for me to focus on that and what I will get out of it as well. Like, if I'm going to do it, do I sign up to it for the next however many months? So that's almost a year. That would be a year. If I committed now, I would commit to the next year and see where I am this time next year. And that actually, oh, doorbell, excites me. I'll be back in a sec. Sorry, the postman just arrived. Where was I? Yeah, so actually when I'm saying that now, I'm going to write that down because that really excites me. This time next year. So it's the Lisbon Marathon I've signed up to in October next year. So if I started with a running coach, then that would be a good marker for me. I would have a full year to try and do my 3:30 marathon. Like, do we think this is possible? So my very first marathon I ran in 3:42. You might think, well, that's not that far off, which is like 12 minutes, but that was in 2010, or was it 11? 2011. March 2011, the year I turned 30, I did my first ever marathon, and that was, 3:42 minutes it took me. Since then, I have done one endurance marathon, which was about 28 miles. That took me 4:30, I think. That was a cross-country run. And then I did a marathon 11 months after my daughter was born. I think that was about 3:50. But again, you know, that was not massively trained for, in the sense that I didn't have a real structure, and I had just had a baby 11 months previously. So I didn't really push myself on that run. And then lastly, I did my ultra marathon recently, which you can't really compare it to because it was essentially like a multi-terrain mountain run. Do I believe I could do that? I don't know, is the answer. Would a running coach help me achieve that? Yes, definitely they would. And do I find that exciting, challenging and scary? Yes, I do. So I feel like I'm almost answering my own question, because I actually am feeling myself get more excited about the prospect of running that marathon next October in 3:30 and tracking that progress, sharing my journey with you guys. Yeah, I almost feel like I've answered my own question. Apologies, this is such a rambly video and actually probably not that relevant to a lot of people, but I would love to know, have you ever used a running coach? Would you recommend one? What did you get out of it? how long did you do it for? Yeah, anything that anyone has to share, I would really love to know. But these are my considerations because, as I mentioned, one, I feel like I am kind of goalless at the moment. Runs being cancelled definitely affects my kind of like belief in myself when I don't have like seeing progress. And I think running really helps me to believe in myself. So it is my personal development. And I also listen to podcasts when I run. I find that really helps me to think about life and who I want to be as a person, because there are a lot of things I can improve on. Yeah, I'm far from perfect. I try to be a better person every day, but I don't always feel like I succeed. That's it, really. That's all I was going to say. And the more I talk about it, the more I kind of talk myself into it, because I feel like it would be a really good thing for me and might help me to believe in myself more around my business as well, and just my relationships and being a better mum and a better wife and all of those things. Don't know if that was of any interest to anyone, but just some thoughts I've been having about how, feeling kind of a bit aimless with my running. Although I have challenged myself a bit this week. I did a sprint session on my own, and I did kind of like a faster pace run. Just checking the time because I was planning on going for a walk before I pick up my son. Yeah, so that really boosted my confidence. I found that when I did that this week, I felt so much more confident in myself. And tomorrow I've got a run with a friend, so that'll be chatty miles, but also she's a faster runner than me, so it always kind of boosts my speed a bit. So yeah, hope you're all well, and if you enjoy watching my ramblings, don't forget to subscribe, and I'll see you all soon.